Greetings fellow YouTubers, Irv Lindsay here. In today's video we are going to make homemade seed envelopes. Yep, real easy to do. Okay, when you're done, they look like this. You can kind of see them. And in this one I have Bradley tomato seeds that I got out of my garden at the end of the season. Big fat Bradley tomato. Alright, so I am using colored construction paper. Actually, this might be colored LaserJet paper. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's cardstock, so it's not really construction paper, but you'd probably do this with any type of paper. I'm just using, you can hear it, it's thicker. Alright, this is pretty easy to do. Now, I'm using some double-sided tape that I have laying around my office that I used for another project. All right, so you take it. You're gonna take your piece of, this is 8.5 by 11, just regular like printer paper, right? Okay. So you fold it in half, be as precise as possible. All right. So once you get it folded in half, you'll have your center line. All right. You're gonna cut that in half. So just use that as a guide. So now I have a piece of paper, alright? So let's go down to my working surface and I'll show you the rest of the folding cuts. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fold this piece in half. Alright. Now, you should be able to tell which side is your cut side. So when you're lining up, use your uncut corners to line up and straighten with. For those of you that are really picky about things being nice and straight and square, some of you might not care. I understand if that's the case. I like to use my fingernail to mush and fold with, but you know, that's just me. Or my thumbnail, I should say. Alright, so now we have this nice center line. You see that? As soon as I put this down, that may disappear on camera, I'm not sure. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold the outside edge about 1/4 of an inch past that fold, and this can, like I said, this can be a little tough, but if you keep your eye on where that fold is, you'll be fine. Now, why am I doing this? Because we need the back pieces to overlap so that we can glue them like this, alright? Now, I'm going to use the double-sided tape, so I've got to be sure that I get this type of overlap, see? Now if you're using glue or some other adhesive, you're not going to have quite as much a problem as me, but still, you want to make sure you have enough of an overlap for whatever type of adhesive you're using, alright? Once you get that done, you end up with this, something like this, alright? Now you're going to fold it in half like this, alright? Kind of like a little card, all right? Now what you're going to do is we need a top and a bottom flap, all right? So this is what I'm going to do. You're going to do one cut all at once. I go about 1 inch down. Try to make it as parallel as you can. If it's not straight, it's not that big a deal. Cut to the fold, turn it around, and do whatever type. If you want to round this, if you want to be fancy, I'm a dude, I don't care. I'm just going to do a 45-degree angle and leave it. Alright? Discard the pieces. Alright, so you're going to do the same thing on the bottom, but you don't need such a big lip, so I don't know, maybe 1/2 inch. Maybe 3/4 of an inch. I don't know. Whatever you think is best. Once again, I do need enough for my double-sided tape, so make sure you leave enough space for whatever type of adhesive you're going to use. Make sure it's straight. For those of you that are really picky about stuff being straight and about me being on camera when I'm showing you. So once again, just in case I went on camera a second ago, you know, you can leave enough. Once again, leave enough space for your adhesive. Now that's not a straight cut, but it really doesn't matter a whole lot. And I like to bevel this one too. You don't have to do that. That's just my choice. No printing required. Now once again, you know, if you wanted to measure this out and you want to draw some lines and and you wanted to make a template out of this, you probably could get straighter lines, straighter cuts than me. For instance, this is kind of crooked. And yes, that does bother me a little bit. I want them to at least match. Right. So there you have it. It's pretty easy to do. You can knock out a bunch of these all at once. You don't have to, no printer required, anything like that. You just need a little tape, a little glue, whatever you want to do. Now, as far as if you're using double-sided tape like me, just kind of roughly gauge where you need to cut it at. And you want to make sure you have adhesive all the way to the edge, because I made the mistake of not doing that. See how I should have some over there. Now I'm just going to kind of rub at this a little bit with the back side of my scissors. Kind of helps it stick on there a little better. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold one edge over. I'm going to do the same thing as I did on this. I'm going to put my adhesive there, and then I'm going to pull this over, and I'm going to stick it. Now, this bottom one, you got to be careful. You'll get muck in your adhesive if dust or fingerprints or whatever in it. Hopefully you have good adhesive. Now, I don't worry too much about this top flap. I just fold it down, and what I have is I have a Ziploc bag here that has all my envelopes in it, and I find that being inside of that keeps them from coming open anyway. It's not that big of a deal. So there you have it, folks. A ready-made, easy to do envelope, and you can put your notes here on the outside. Put this inside of some type of larger envelope or big gallon-sized Ziploc bag. Keep the flap from coming open. So that is your homemade seed envelope. Real easy to do. You can get 2 per sheet, and unlike some of the templates I've found online, these are actually really big. I have they'll easily hold squash or watermelon seeds. They're pretty big especially if you get them in the, if you use cardstock, they're nice and heavy, real easy. You can always put another piece of bit of adhesive under here, or there's a number of ways you can secure the top down. All right, thanks for watching. It's just a quick tutorial on how to do your own no template, no printer needed envelopes. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Keep fighting a good fight, and hell, see you in the next video.